Welcome once again, my Waddlesies, to another video where I will delve into the mind of my favorite My Hero Academia villain, Kai Chisaki, aka Overhaul. But before I do that, this is a little late, but this is kind of the month anniversary of this channel, and I absolutely have to thank all of my loyal subscribers, aka my Waddlesies, yes, all 26 of you, and all my 600 or so Waddlesies over on Amino for the fantastic support. My videos have been getting increasingly better, and I have no one to thank but you guys. The views I've been getting on these videos is absolutely insane, and I love all of my loyal fans who talk to me in the comments and hit the like button every single video. It really means a lot to me in my dream of becoming a YouTuber, so my Waddlesies, if I might call upon you once more to smash that subscribe button to join me on my journey, I really do mean everything I say, but whew, too sappy for me, let's begin this Overhaul analysis. Kai Chisaki, more well known as Overhaul, is a spectacular villain in the Boku no Academia universe, and I think he is the most revolutionary villain we have seen thus far. Not saying revolutionary throughout anime because we have seen a few popular villains like him, but for the MHA franchise he definitely sets a tone that is very different than the villains in past episodes, and even sets a tone for future villains in the franchise. In the anime, which won't be regarded much in this video, his introduction was very gloomy, especially following the tragic backstory of Twice, but maybe I'll save that for another video. The first thing he does is establish that he has a killing intent, and he doesn't care if you are a villain or a hero, he will do whatever he pleases. In my opinion, this alone makes him quite possibly the scariest villain we've yet to see, especially when compared to the introduction of Shigaraki and All For One. And in my opinion, his introduction is on par with Stains, but what separates his entrance from Stains is, for me, the gruesomeness of his killings, and the ominousness, if that is a word, of his goals after he criticized the Reservoir Dogs for having such small, pointless ideas and not seeing the bigger picture. Overhaul's bigger picture, on the other hand, from all other lowly villains like them, centers around his goals as a villain. Manga spoilers ahead from now, but if you want to follow along with the video, it's only like chapters 140 to 160, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I'm sure most of you edgelord Waddlesies probably stayed, or you read the manga, so let me get back on topic. His goals as a villain circulate around the idea of controlling the entirety of the underground villains and gangs. He plans on getting this done by pumping out quirk-killing bullets out of his former bosses, aka Poppy's granddaughter, and then also providing some sort of blood cure from her as well. He planned on selling the bullets to all of the villains and then to cure to all of the heroes, which would, as he said in chapter 158, give him complete control / monopoly over all the supply of these products, seeing as Eri is the only source. The scary part of all this is his blatant disregard for human life, and his complete unfaltering will to put the Yakuza on top of the world despite throwing away all of the former bosses and former Yakuza's ideals away. It is essential to inform all of you that Kai Chisaki, through flashbacks, has a very interesting childhood, where he would seem to be alone and somehow implanted in his brain at a young age that quirks were a disease, which most likely led to him despising everyone who was quote-unquote sick, and killing them on sight. The daycare or school he was at also said that rats made quirks. All hail King Nezu, so you can see where he could have just been a little teensy bit manipulated and corrupted. He was then picked up by the Cleansers and Pops, who were part of the Yakuza, I think, but they still have their pinkies because, fun fact, the Yakuza cut off pinkies to atone for their sins. I guess what happened to Overhaul in chapter 160 was pretty fitting then, wasn't it? He kept trying to convince his boss at the time to experiment on his granddaughter, but as you could probably expect, the boss wasn't too keen on the idea. But it was just our luck that the boss would fall ill, giving Overhaul leadership of the gang and turning them from an organization that plans on positively reforming villains into villains themselves. The corruption he caused only deepens a more common plot point in the Boku no Academia world, that people can be brainwashed and corrupted so easily by quirks just because they were born with a certain quirk. But what is interesting about Overhaul's situation is that he doesn't have an evil quirk. I mean, yeah, it can be seen as evil, but he can easily prevent it by using gloves, and his quirk, though it would be painful, could be used like Grandma Smoochums. I mean, if I was about to freaking die because maybe, I don't know, I had a huge spike through my gut, I would willingly allow Overhaul to disassemble and reassemble me, good as new. It's also fair to mention that this loony in all of the flashbacks seemed to be a loner, but he never had a tragic backstory. He was just evil for evil's sake. And I know that is a bad connotation in today's standards for anime, but for the MHA world, I find it quite welcoming. Now let's talk about the invasion arc. I won't go into too much detail about each individual battle just in case once again you haven't read the manga, but I will cover Overhaul's battles. The first time we see Overhaul fight was against my personal favorite character, Mirio Togata, who I did a video for in the past. Overhaul demonstrates his quirk, which only adds on to the fact that he is a frightening villain, because just look at this crap. If you say that isn't scary, I'm sorry, you must be a psychopath, or maybe you just need to see it animated. April 7th, hope to see everybody there. Anyway, Mirio takes Eri away from Overhaul, and Overhaul the entire time while he was trying to get her back was telling Mirio that he is a failure, and telling him that he gave Eri false hope and now she's suffering even more than what she was before. Pretty deep stuff, but seeing how scared Eri was made Overhaul the most repulsive villain in any series by far. Well, to this point anyway. Well, now on to the part that made me want to hop into the manga and kick his ass. Overhaul, in short, gets his lackeys to shoot Mirio and he loses his quirk. Luckily, however, Mirio still holds him off long enough for Night Eye, Midoriya, and the others to get there. You see, now this is when the fear kicks into hyperdrive because he's already made somebody lose their quirk, and now more quirkies show up. Spoiler alert, nobody loses their quirk, but another one of my favorite characters die, which in my opinion, the death of Night Eye was and still is the saddest thing to ever happen to the series. And well, we know who we can thank for that. But conclusion, Overhaul is defeated and they take all of the evil lackeys and him to prison. Well, until Shigaraki is like, nah fam, I hate you, and what do you stand for? Not cool, so I'ma take your arms. And well, if we look at the explosion and what Midoriya says, it is likely that Overhaul is indeed dead. Well, looking back, Overhaul was the only villain to make me afraid of losing somebody I had grown on. Which is like everyone in MHA, because freaking Horikoshi knows how to tug on those heartstrings and destroy childhoods by making all of his characters lovable. It was just the constant looming threat of losing somebody or someone losing their quirk that made this villain terrifying. And I know other villains were all alike.
I have killed people, fear me.
But none of them used actions instead of words, with maybe the exception of Stain and Shigaraki, but it was Overhaul that made me scared of Shigaraki in the first place, so Overhaul is the best villain. Well, that is why I think he's the scariest villain in all of Boku no Academia, but I dare you to refute me in the comment section down below, and while you are down there, smash that subscribe button to see videos that may or may not be on other major villains in the series. But thank you for watching me, King Zezeze, and I look forward to next Sunday's video, my Waddle Z's.